tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus. Brokenness feeling like sin, now no breath, low dollar. Used to be left on red, now all the girls go holler. Now all the girls go follow. All the fake fans go pile up.
Guys, so next story up. The Renaissance Tour has made it here to the United States. And, you know, we are very happy to see that. I saw that Kevin and Mikhail was at the concert out there in Philadelphia yesterday. I know they had a good old time. Anyway, this is not really about Beyonce or the Renaissance Tour. It's actually about her mama, Tina Knowles, you guys. You guys know that she's married to Richard Lawson. She married him some years ago when her, after she had broken up from Matthew Knowles. I know, you know what? You guys had asked me to talk about Matthew Knowles and his illegitimate son that he has no contact with. I think the little boy is somewhere around 12, 13 years old now. And the mother is saying how the little boy is so hurt that Matthew Knowles does, and Beyonce and Solange and them don't acknowledge him. And I mean, all I can say to that is, yeah, it would be nice if Beyonce and Solange, you know, took the little boy in as their little brother. But the reality is that this child was the cause, well, was one of the reasons why their parents broke up. Their father was in an affair, and this child snuck, you know, this woman snuck and had this affair with this man and had this baby. You knew what the conditions were when you was setting up this whole thing. You know, Solange and Beyonce they do not have to accept that child. Okay. They just don't. And so this woman that every now and then she'll surface and say how the little boy, you know, is like, wants to know his family and all that. And I mean, my heart does hurt for him for that, because kids don't ask to be here, but the grown-ups is what it up. Okay. And I'm not supposed to be cursing this early. I'll blank that out. But the grown-ups messed it up, and now you've got this kid who has to pay for it, which is sad, but that's just what happens. So no, I don't believe that they should they don't have to, and nobody should make them look bad or feel bad for it. Okay. As far as Matthew not being, you know, involved in his child's life, apparently he pays child support, but he doesn't have any contact with the little boy. And yeah, I mean, that's bad too. You know, as a father, you know, you created this child, so really this is your kid. Whether or not you was in your right mind, or, you know, whether or not you was, you know, your loins took over and you wasn't making the best decisions. I mean, at the end of the day, a baby was made. So this boy, now he don't have his dad. I think that Matthew Knowles is full of shit for that. Okay. But that's on him, not on his kids. No. So yeah, Matthew, you know, I would hope that don't become a regret of his as he's older and gets older and older. You've got a kid out here, you have no relationship with him, you know, you're gonna die and your kid never knew you, you know, and you shunned him because he was created in lust, and you were in a committed relationship with somebody else, and you forwent that. Forgoed. No, not forgoed. Forwent. That's not even really the word either. But you know, you didn't put your relationship, your marriage first. You decided to do that. So that, yeah, that's completely on Matthew. And I've always had a side eye for him since all that has happened. Okay, but no, not for his kids. But anyway, not for Beyonce and Solange, I should say. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. I just threw that on in here since we talking about the Knowles. But as far as Tina Knowles, so her and her husband have a home in Los Angeles. I don't think that this is their main residence, but I think they live permanently or regularly in Texas. But they have a home in Los Angeles, and apparently, you know, we've seen that Tina was overseas enjoying her daughter in concert, her daughter and her grandbaby. You guys saw how Blue Ivy did that dance in Philadelphia yesterday. Had y'all seen the video? She have on her, I was like, is that the Louis Vuitton new thing with Pharrell, that the new not the canvas, the damier print camouflage look? Anyway, I said, look at Blue, okay? That shit she's way more on point with her routine. I told y'all by the time she made it to the United States that she was going to be much better. And she's just going to continue to get better. Every time I see her, I just smile. I be like, look at it. This is such a good thing. And you can look at Beyonce and tell Beyonce is slowing down. She was just like, I'm going to let these kids and everybody else on this stage do all that. And I'm just going to do a couple of poses and stands and all this. And I'm going to sing because, you know, we ain't getting no younger. I'm not saying Beyonce old. I'm not saying she can't do it. Okay, because we know that she put her mind to it. She definitely can do all the dances and the routines and all of that. But what I can say is you can tell when you see the clips that Beyonce is starting to just be like, I ain't got to be proving shit to nobody no more. And I ain't got to be working my ass to fucking death, especially with all these dates that she has, you know. So let the young folks handle it. So I just love to see Blue out there. But again, I keep on getting off on tangents, right? In LA, this is common. It's been a string of robberies. Tina Knowles' home there was caught up in the latest celebrity robbery. They ended up breaking in the home. Somebody that part of her staff, they saw it while she was out of town. That somebody came in there and they stole the whole fucking safe. Took the whole thing. And so I guess she didn't have it bolted down to the ground, took the whole safe. They said over $1 million in jewelry and cash, as well as the safe, you know. So they got a whole lot from the Knowles Lawson home there. And yeah, it's just a violation. I mean, it's ridiculous, but they hitting up them celebrities in Hollywood, and you know, and nobody, I mean, everybody is susceptible to it. Like, you know, you would think that her being Tina Knowles, that she would have like major security and all of that, and she probably did, and people still are able to get around that and get in there. It's just scary. It's a scary time. And this isn't the first time she's had some things happen. Back in April, they said that some man was arrested for throwing rocks at her mailbox, okay, damaged her mailbox. But she decided not to press charges, so they let that man go. We didn't even hear nothing about that, but now we hear about it since this robbery happened. So yeah, scary times. You guys, you have to pray for even these celebrities, child. You know, if you got a fave out there, somebody that remind you of their mama or something, you know, y'all cover them, because they can take all the extra that they can, because these niggas is crazy, especially in LA. They are hitting them up. Not only was Tina Lawson robbed, but Damson Idris was robbed on July 3rd. She was July 5th, and I think his happened on Monday, July 3rd. They took the 4th off, apparently. But on the 3rd, they broke into his home, ended up taking his safe as well. But, you know, they wasn't as lucky as the Lawson Knowles household, and they ended up getting just over $500. I was just like, why you guys had to report that it was $500, especially when we just found out that it was over $1 million on Tina Lawson. Y'all tried to shit on Damson Idris in his safe situation. But, you know, apparently he doesn't keep all his stuff, his money and things in his home, but he did have a safe, and yeah, they stole it. They said that actually the robbers actually did more damage just getting in the house, that they tore up some shit, that it was actually going to cost more for him to even get it fixed than this $500 that they got away with. So just an inconvenience and a pain in the ass really for Damson in this situation. But of course they're looking for the people that are responsible, so you know, we'll see if they ever do. But I do believe that it's a ring. I think that these might be the same people or the same group of people that are breaking into them celebrity homes out there. So, yeah. Tina say she all right, though. But, yeah, y'all done took her money and her safe. Like, damn. So, I mean, somebody really had time to just get that shit out. I mean, safes ain't light, you know, especially if they got stuff in there. So, I mean, they was serious. It may have been an inside job. I think that's just what the reality is out there. Anyway, you guys, Tina, Damson, y'all hold your heads up. Hopefully they catch the people responsible.
I need peace to borrow, get that shit right back tomorrow. Somehow all the fans go bravo, smile so much to hide my
soul. Alright, you guys, next story up. So, Suki'anna and this OnlyFans video leaking, you guys. I don't know why I did it to myself, because usually when I hear about a video, usually one of you guys will send me a video, but I think I have scared many of you guys from sending me shit just out the blue. Because nothing is more alarming than, you know, sitting there and, you know, maybe next to, you know, somebody and you open up a thing and then all of a sudden it's just a video of people fucking. Okay, you got to be explaining it to Mr. Why you somebody sending you a video of somebody's dick pic or some shit, you know. So you guys didn't do it in this case, but I had heard about the Suki'anna video and I was just like, well, what is it? You know, and everybody just kept on saying how gross it was. And I was like, still, as just punishment for myself, I was like, let me just go find the video. Didn't take a long time to find it on Twitter. And so apparently back when pandemic first happened, Suki'anna created the OnlyFans like many other people did. And you know, I thought OnlyFans was only for porn, and you guys were like, no, that's what it's become. But no, OnlyFans is for a lot of other things as well, you know, so people can subscribe to you and have like that relationship or whatever. But in Suki'anna's case, yeah, it was porn. I mean, we ain't surprised about Suki'anna. She is not private in that sense. I mean, we know what she's into, what she like to do, all of that. I think we can consider, you know, if she's not a porn star, we'll say that she is a pornographic personality, and a raunchy rapper. And, you know, this is what she does. So the video, you guys, is of her. She has that toy, the rose, which, you know, anyway, she has that toy, the rose, and she is, you know, by herself. She's doing some getting to know herself, and when she is coming to a climax, then, you know, people are saying that she's squirting. It just looks like pee to me, which I think is usually the case anyway. I think most women, when they squirt, it really is urine. Okay, but I think the fact that the urine is coming through the orgasm, I think all of that, just the feeling and everything, but I do feel like it was just urine. The stuff that was coming out, you know, when you see semen, I guess this would be a good time to tell you that this is not for children right now. I'm sorry, I didn't give you get the babies out the room, y'all. I'll give you a break. You know, they can come back after this story. So, yeah, you know, when you've seen semen in the past, it usually looks cloudy white, you know, it looks like discharge or it looks like semen, and, you know. But when you see this liquid that is golden or brownish, somebody called it pot liquor. Somebody on Twitter was just like, bitch, this bitch with this damn collard green juice. I was like, not pot liquor, y'all. But anyway, it was the color of urine. It was the color of a urine of somebody that could possibly stand to drink some water. I mean, I feel like maybe she had just drank some alcohol, because, you know, don't it take some sort of liquid courage to be able to get on camera and just do shit like that? I mean, maybe not. You know, I mean, we've seen Suki do quite some very disgusting and nasty things. But you know what? Suki is going to own that she's nasty. She's going to own that she's disgusting. She owns, you know, there is that very niche part in porn that people have fetishes and things. And there are some people that are just part of porn that is just very extremely nasty. And she's part of that group. But that video leaking, she don't have the OnlyFans anymore. But that video leaking is not really the best look, just for general terms. Like if it ends up on social media on Shade Room or Ice Cream Convos or something, like if it shows up on a, well, they're not going to show that actual video, but just the story, you know, it's not a good look for just general consumption, because we not all a part of that niche group that likes to look at that kind of stuff, you know. So then we be like, this bitch is nasty, ugh, you know. And then of course, just the implication, not the implications, but just the fact that she's a mother. You know, people want to bring all that out. You're a mother. I was like, there's a lot of porn stars as mothers, married, wives, and all of that, you know. But the porn is their job. But, you know, people will start to shame and say, you know, she shouldn't do this and that and the other. I mean, it's not a look that I would want to have of myself out there, but teach his own. People like what they like, and, you know, so whatever. But and she did, somebody interviewed her after that, and, you know, she was kind of in her defensive mode, but what she said while she was cussing us all out for it was that I am a nasty bitch, I'm disgusting, you guys know that. That's an old video. She did that because it was pandemic, you know, people wasn't making money, you know, no reality shows and shit was on, so everybody had to kind of come up with their own stuff, and so she decided to do that. She made, like, I think they said she made like $60,000 off of that, which to me is not that much, really, for something that's going to be around forever and ever and ever. And even though your kids might know this about you, it's still embarrassing for your children to know that there's a video of their mama out here like squirting and shit like that, you know. To me, it's not worth it, but I mean, you know, she got bills to pay. She got a family that she needs to provide for. She needed to make it happen and have some money during the pandemic when it first started, and nobody knew what was happening. OnlyFans was like that big thing where everybody was just like, ooh, OnlyFans, you know, it's a subscription, you know, and you can pay me and I can still make money. I mean, they said that the sex industry really, it became safer for a lot of women, especially because, you know, now they can strip. They can do all of the stuff that they was doing in person, but don't have the danger of a person approaching them. They can do it in the privacy of their own home. They can let many more people see it at one time, and they can make a lot of money from it. So, I mean, it was good. To me, the business model part of it is great. You know, it's just that, do you want that kind of image of yourself put out there to last forever and ever and ever? Okay? I think eventually she's probably going to wish that she didn't have that out there, because even though that might be something that she does, if she has to always answer to it, and, you know, when people ask her questions, like, I think that we finally got the people to forget about the vomit and the blowjob and the chunks and her still giving the blowjob with the food and shit all on her face and the cum and the all that. If we was finally able to get past that, now she's got this video that's going to continue to haunt her and be around. And I don't know. I don't know if that's something that when she gets to be around my age, she's going to still be proud of. Now, maybe she is. And if that's it, that's fine too. But, you know, it's just that sometimes we got to think about the long term. And I know younger people, generally, even when I was younger, we think about the right now because that's all we are concerned about. But when you get older, then you start thinking about legacy. You start thinking about your kids, your grandkids, your grandkids' kids. Like, you start thinking about them things, and you know, maybe this won't be the look that we want to have Big Mama. You know, when we talk about Big Mama at her funeral, we don't want to talk about how she was spreading it wide open and coming and juice shooting out her coochie for everybody to see. Okay, so yeah, but you know, I'm not gonna, people that are in the sex industry, that's what they do. They ain't hurting nobody. You know, Suki, like she said, she ain't no hoe, so she be with one man and she stays with one man. She does her things with one man. It's just the thing of putting it out there. Social media has made it to the point where everything is on Front Street now. And I still think that there are things that just don't need to be out there. There, you know, what you do in your bedroom, what you like to do, is because this motherfuckers out there is freaky. It's a lot happening in them bedrooms, okay? But that's really still, to me, I think that that's still something that can stand to stay in the bedrooms with you and your partner or partners, okay? So, yeah. But did y'all see the video? You see the video of the pot liquor? Yeah, y'all go check it out. I'm sure you could probably find it on Twitter. It won't be on Threads. Y'all know Threads don't play that, so make sure you check Twitter. Moving on.
Say the shaky and vibrato. I can't hold a frown too long.
All right, you guys, congratulations are in order to our Hill Harper. Yes, the actor Hill Harper. He has announced that he is throwing in his bid for the Senate seat there in Michigan. There is an empty seat, and he is challenging U.S. Representative Elissa Slotkin for that seat, okay? Or the seat will be coming up. No, I think the seat is empty currently. He's the 6th person to enter the race, and you know, he's got to catch up, because apparently the Slotkin lady has you know, she's raised a lot of money. You know, you need to have money in order to win these races. That's just a fact. Do you guys know who Hill Harper is, though? He is the actor. You know, we saw him. He used to be in a lot of Spike Lee's movies. He was on Get on the Bus, which was me and Mister's very first date. We went to go see Get on the Bus. But he was in that movie. You guys might know him more recently from The Good Doctor. He's also on, I think, CSI New York. You know, one of them CSI shows. You know, we like Hill Harper. He's a good actor, but we know he's also kind of like politically, or should I say that he was very involved in the community, the Black community, and he wanted to see things change for Black communities, tried to make differences in many ways. And now, you know, here he goes. Now, he's never really had much political experience. He was in school at Harvard Law before he decided to become an actor. But as far as political experience, President Obama had assigned him to one of his cancer panels, because apparently Hill Harper is also a survivor of cancer. I didn't know that. But so President Obama he was assigned to a panel for cancer back in 2012. So that's his only political experience. But I mean, that's fine. You know, no experience like doing the job, right? So if he does get that, then he'll gain the experience that way. So yeah, good for him. Hopefully he'll do it. He says that it's not about party. It's about people feeling represented and being an independent voice. And being an independent voice in the U.S. Senate is something I believe Michiganders want right now. Okay? Is that what the Michiganders want right now? Hill Harper for Senate? Y'all let me know.
I can't stay down too long. Running from pain, running from strain.
All right, you guys, in white folks news, we can talk about Britney Spears, our girl. Okay? Boy, that Britney stays in the news, don't she, child? Ever since she got off of that conservatorship, it's kind of been one Britney Spears story after another. And I've already told you guys that I have questioned whether or not we should have even requested to get her off a conservatorship. I mean, I feel like the conservatorship that she was on was way too rigid. And that it could have stood to have some things that were relaxed, okay? But I guess they weren't asking for some things to be relaxed. She wanted to get off altogether. So after 13 years of being on conservatorship, they took her off completely. So Britney Spears has been in charge of her own life, and, you know, we've seen some ups and downs with Britney since, okay? I think that we all can agree that Britney Spears has probably had she probably has PTSD. There's some trauma that has happened to her that has changed her mentally, and, you know, even maybe physically. Like, there's been things that have happened to her that has traumatized her and has changed her to what she is now, okay? I think she likes to consider herself a free spirit now. And we see her little dancing videos, and, you know, we'd be a little worried and everything, but I mean, she still looks like she is, you know, she's out there trying her best, child. That's all we can ask for, right? They say she has a book coming out. It is an autobiography. It's called Brave, The Woman in Me. And she's going to talk about her life. And, you know, she already told us when she was in court, when she was trying to get off a conservatorship, and she was telling them how they forced her to take lithium, and she stayed on birth control. She couldn't have kids. She couldn't be in a relationship. She wanted to marry her boyfriend or just be able to date and do regular girl things, regular life things. And it was all these restrictions and all. So I'm sure that the book will be more of that, just exactly what happened in those 13 years, you know, and, you know, how she came out and all. So yeah, that's coming out, scheduled to come out in October later on this year. Also, you guys, Britney Spears was in the news because apparently she was in Las Vegas with her husband, and she saw one of her favorite NBA players. His name, what is the man's name? Victor. I can't say his last name. Victor Wembanyama. Okay. They were out there. Victor and his team were out there in Vegas. So was Britney and her husband. She saw him as he was walking through a lobby in a hotel, and she wanted to go up to him and let him know that she was one of his biggest fans. You know, she loved him as a basketball player. I'm sorry, I can't get my words out. And so she ran up to him like fans will do, and his back was to her. He was walking. And she tapped him on his shoulder, trying to get his attention, like, hey, you know, I love you. I just wanted to let you know, keep doing your thing out there on the floor. You know, I love you as a basketball player and all that. She wanted to tell him all that. He never turned around, and his security kind of like waved off. Nobody ever turned around, but the security kind of waved his hand back like this, and they continued on. The video that I was able to see, I could never clearly see exactly what happened. You can see her going up behind him, and you can't really see her tapping him, but you can see the security flap like this, and you kind of can see her head fly back. Maybe there's another vantage point, because like I said, they were in a hotel lobby. So maybe there's another vantage point where they can see from the front exactly what happened. But what the police are saying from the camera footage that they saw is that nobody actually hit her. There was no contact made from her, and more so that when the security guard did his hand like this, she kind of flipped back like this, and she actually hit her own self in the face. That is what they are saying. Again, I couldn't see what one way or the other how it happened, but they decided not to press charges. Now, she said her glasses was knocked off and she was almost gonna fall and all of this, and none of that happened on the video from what I could see. Maybe her glasses flew off, but like I said, their back was to everything, so you couldn't tell. But I guess they wanted some arrests made. And when the police saw the video, the police was like, no, we're not going to press any charges because nobody made any contact with her. The basketball player, he said that they were told when they were walking through the lobby not to stop because they didn't want any crowd to form. So he already said, like, you're going to walk through this lobby, we're going to a restaurant. They were going to dinner. And so they told him to continue walking, don't stop, don't turn around. People are going to be calling your name and trying to tap you and all that. Just keep going so we don't have like no whole bunch of people just gathering around you. So when she tapped him on the back, he didn't even know who it was. He didn't turn around ever. And you see that in the video. And they just kept going. So he didn't know even that it was Britney Spears. He said that he found out maybe an hour later that it was actually her that was tapping him. He said he did feel the tap, but he never turned around. And so, you know, of course he felt bad. This is Britney Spears. You know, we ain't trying to be busting Britney in the face and shit. But so he was just sort of like, you know, I'm sorry that happened and everything. But, you know, nobody was really trying to attack Britney Spears. It's kind of a little bit how the story came out when it first came out. But Britney, I saw, made a video just recently saying that nobody from his security team had apologized to her. I mean, it would be cool if the security would just apologize. But they saying that the security didn't do anything. So she says that they did, but the police are saying that they didn't. But she was just like, you know, I'm Britney Spears, bitch. Okay? Like, she's been in multiple situations where she's been around hundreds of fans. She's been around huge big stars, and you know, never had she dealt with security hitting somebody. So she feels like if security did do that, I mean, the least they can do is apologize. Like I said, you know, maybe they could, but then that would kind of be admitting that you did something, and if you didn't do anything, what I'm apologizing? What am I apologizing for? You know, so I don't know if Britney gonna get that apology. You know, Britney, just continue promoting your book. We probably might read that book, Roxy Reads Book Club. Y'all feel like you might want to read that? Maybe. I actually do want to read that, even if we don't read that there. It sounds interesting. But Anyway, yeah, you guys, so no harm, no foul. Brittany's fine, but she says she would like an apology. Do you guys think that she's owed one? Or do you think that Brittany need to go and move on with her life?
Running from things, running from schemes. I can't hold a frown too long.
All right, you guys, next story up. So JonahHill and his breakup from his girlfriend, what was her name? Sarah Brady, I think is her name. Sarah Brady has been blasting JonahHill in social media because she said that he put these impossible restraints on their relationship. And she said she just wanted everybody to know what kind of a asshole that he is. I'm going to read some of what he sent her. And you guys will have to let me know if you feel like JonahHill is being an asshole, or is he just expressing his boundaries, and you can either take it or leave it. So she tried to do this right when all of the shit was going on with Keke Palmer and her boyfriend. She kind of was like, oh, y'all think that he was bad. Let me let you know what Jonah is on, what time Jonah on, okay? So she posted what he texted her. Apparently, she is a semi-pro surfer, and she's a pretty woman, and these are the things that Jonah is telling her that she will have to do if she wants to be in a relationship with him. I'm going to read it to you. Give me 1 second here. Plain and simple. If you need surfing with men, boundaryless, inappropriate friendships with men, if you need to model, if you need to post pictures of yourself in a bathing suit, if you need to post sexual pictures, or if you need friendships with women who are unstable, who are in unstable places, and from your wild recent past, beyond getting a lunch or coffee or something respectful, I am not the right partner for you. If these things bring you a place of happiness, I support it, and there will be no hard feelings. These are my boundaries for romantic partnership. I was like, that shit sound like some fucking rules, right? But, I mean, can you really be mad? I mean, as women today, many of us are upset with men that waste our time. You know, you get with a man or a woman, you know, this is not just men that do this, but you get with somebody and everything is going well, and then all of a sudden they disappear, and you just be like, what the fuck happened? Like, you know, this nigga just wasted 4 months of my life. I could have been with somebody else. You know, I could have been doing something else. I'm up here making plans with this fool. He had no intentions of sticking around, you know. So yeah, we have complained that men don't say what they want, that they, you know, that they waste your time, that they, you know, say one thing, mean another. Well, we got JonahHill, who obviously has said what he wants, what he requires. Do I feel like that's a whole lot for a person to ask? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not going to be in a relationship with somebody that's going to be putting them kind of stipulations on my life. Okay. First of all, you might think my friends are unstable, but I don't think my friends are unstable. Okay. I am a professional surfer, so there are going to be men in the water as well. Are you telling me that I can't be at the beach with the men when they, you know, there's like this, there's things that I'm not, you're not my father. You're not somebody that's raising me. We're in a relationship. There's compromise. Yes, there are certain things that I think that a man can ask of a woman that they're in a relationship for, and it's, you know, and it makes sense. But yeah, nigga, you're not fixing to just rewrite my whole life. But can we really get mad at Jonah if he said, like, I respect you, and if that's what you want, fine, it's just not gonna work with me. Okay. And so that's why everybody was just like, girl, I mean, he made it very clear. Now you sitting up here trying to tell all his business. I mean, yeah, it was too much for me. I was like, the nigga doing too much and all, but I'm not mad at the fact that he said it. Okay. So she went back with him, back and forth with him, and her responses didn't help, because she was like, you know, I'm sorry, I've been drinking, I was with my friends, I was and these are kind of like the same things that he was just like, and that's exactly why. Like, you be tripping because you be out with them and you be drinking and you be doing all of this, you know. So it was just sort of like, you know, she wasn't really making it better. Bottom line, you guys, is it don't take all this. You ain't had to expose the man. All you had to do is say, you know what, God bless you. what you want and what I want is two different things, and what you want is not going to work for me. What I want is not going to work for you. You know, deuces. Okay, the Blue Ivy pose. Like, yeah, I'm just gonna have to leave, and we'll just have to, that's just it, you know. Blasting him, even though JonahHill is, he got his shit with him, you know, I still was just like, well, girl, I mean, find you somebody else. Now, there, of course, is another woman now who is coming out and saying, you know, that JonahHill did some other things. I think the woman even said that he had gotten physical with her or whatever. And of course, that is never cool. You know, you can't be in a relationship beating the woman's ass and all of that. Like, no. Okay. So if that is true, but I didn't take any notes on that, so I don't have the full story. But yeah, I do know that there are other people that are trying to come out and make him look worse. But I'm just asking you guys, just in this instance, how do you feel? Do you feel like Jonah? Like, I'm thinking like, okay, he might be a lot, but he said it, okay? And that's more that you can say for it than a whole bunch of other men that just be, like I said, wasting your time. So y'all just let me know what you think. Y'all mad at Jonah? Y'all need Sarah to just go on and find her another man.
I can't stay down too long. Running from pain.
All right, you guys, next story up. I guess we can say these are all quickies. So lastly, in quickies, you guys, Larsa Pippen and Marcus Jordan, they were on the podcast Separation Anxiety, and they were there to clarify for Michael Jordan, who was over in Paris when paparazzi asked him what did he think, you know, was he in support of the relationship between Larsa Pippen and his son, and he shouted out no. Okay, and I know he had to know that was gonna make it to the blogs, child. It was on the blogs, and everybody was kind of laughing, like, like, you know, we knew, even though they was trying to say that the family all accepted her in, you know, the fact that this man yelled out with quite a bit of authority, no, he did not respect that relationship. You know, it was just like, okay, so that's what it is. But let them tell it that is not true. They say that Michael Jordan actually called them later on that evening because he did know that it was going to end up on social media, and told them, you know, not to take it the wrong way, that he was just joking with the paparazzi and all, and that he didn't really believe that, you know, that he loves Larsa. Marcus said that they were all together for Thanksgiving, and they all accepted him and her with open arms, that relationship. So he was just like, yeah, my dad, you know, hardy, har, you know, old Michael Jordan, he has that type of humor. I was like, I've never heard Michael Jordan to even have a sense of humor. Like, everybody say just what an asshole he is. And I do believe that he felt that way when he said it, but he also probably doesn't want to hurt his son, you know, hurt her feelings and all of that. But he probably, at the end of the day, probably wishes that his son could have picked somebody else. Now, the heart wants what it wants, and you know, he did end up with Larsa. Larsa, what, 49? I think he's 32 or something, like 36. It's a 14-year, I think they said a 16 year, don't quote me, 16-year, 19-year difference in their age. It's not 19, I think it's 16 years, or it may even be 12. But anyway, I mean, they all grown. So even though it is a little, you know, she's grown, he's grown, and he's not kid grown, he's grown. So that's not that big of a deal. I just always thought that it would be more uncomfortable because we know that Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen played basketball together for a long time, and Larsa was married to Scottie Pippen she got married to him in 1997, and they divorced in 2021. Now, they separated sometime before that, but the divorce was finalized in 2021. So they were together for a long time. They have 4 kids together. They're all grown, but like, they had a full life. And then, you know, we know that Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan have a relationship. You know, they played basketball together and a friendship, but it's been estranged, sorta. And, you know, it's just like all these weird parts to it. And then here you go, dating his ex-wife, you know, and having to have her around. But I mean, like I said, they grown. It don't really matter what Michael Jordan think. And Marcus is old enough to make that decision. And it's clear that he wants to be with Larsa, she wants to be with him and all, and she's making a go of it, and so is he. And so, I mean, hey, but yeah. Do you guys think that Michael Jordan really does love that relationship between the two of them? She said she was embarrassed, that she was traumatized by him saying that, you know, and that everybody was going to think that they were lying when they went on whatever show it was and said that, you know, he loves her and him and the relationship and all of that. I was like, girl, anyway. Next story. Congratulations are in order to the brat. Mama named her Shantae Harris. And Big Booty Judy, okay, Mama named her Jessica Dupart. You guys know these two married few years back, and they wanted to have a child together, and now they have done that. Brat carried the baby, and this baby was the product, I believe, of Judy's eggs with a donor, and the baby was born by C-section last week. And I know that Brad and Judy are happy. I know that they have to be happy, and it's so funny to see the brat in this role as the carrying mother, because, you know, not that you can go by this anymore with lesbian relationships, because now you have two feminine lesbians together. You might have, I mean, you might not see two masculine lesbians together, but you know, like, it's not, before we used to think that it was a masculine and a feminine lesbian together, and that's not it anymore. There's so many different subsections of the whole thing, you know. And I think that we assumed that Brat was going to be the more, I mean, it sounds bad to call her masculine, because I don't think Brat is masculine, okay? But I think that we assume, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm trying to do this the most politically correct way. I needed to talk to my gay girlfriend. I needed to talk to my gay friends first before I did this story. But what I'm saying is, I think that when you actually look at Judy and Brad's relationship, I feel like Judy is more of the, I wouldn't say masculine, but Judy seems to be more of the, she seems to be more of the stern, or she has become more of the stern business. Like, I don't even know how to put it, you guys, without it sounding fucked up. But yeah, it's just, this whole experience has made me look at Brad differently. It softened out some of the edges. It was just amazing to see how Brad knew nothing about motherhood. Nothing. Okay? And I know she's gay, but she's still a woman, and you know, you ain't been around nobody that's had kids. Like, she just really was clueless. So it was interesting to see, and it's going to be nice to see Brat and this baby and her wife, you know, trying to figure out life together. They have other kids. Well, Judy had other kids, so I'm sure Brat looks at them as like her bonus kids too. But you know, it was just interesting to watch the dynamics of that relationship, and you know, us making, or me, I can only speak for myself, me making an assumption that the Brat was going to be the more, is it bad to say masculine? I'm sorry if it is, you guys, and Judy to be the other one. But they really are. It's interesting how you can just say that people aren't pinned into certain places in a relationship. Just a little insight on gender norms and relationship responsibilities, and just assumptions of where we think people are in that, even if it's a homosexual or a heterosexual relationship. So anyway, all that being said, they did have their baby boy. They named him True Legend Dupart Harris. Okay. Cute name. I think that's cute. Somebody is saying that they stole the name from them. I was like, you can't steal names, you guys. It's a name. It's whatever you want to name your child, you name them. I'm telling you, when I was pregnant with Joe, my sister-in-law was pregnant at the same time. We had our kids a month apart. And I told her, I was like, oh yeah, I told my sister-in-law, I was like, I'm gonna name him Joseph. And she was just like, oh, Brian wanted to name him, ours Joseph too. Okay. And I was like, that's fine. Y'all can name him Joseph. It's just gonna be two Josephs, because we gonna be still naming him Joseph. Okay. And they were due. Joe was born a month early. They were actually due around the exact same time. And so I said, girl, you got pregnant the same time I did when one of them nights after the the bachelorette party when we all went out. Child, I tell you, that was a crazy night. But anyway, I said all that to say, they ended up naming my nephew Joshua. And he looks like a Joshua. He don't even look like a Joseph, you know. But we were, my husband wanted to name Joe Joseph because we were naming him after Mr.'s grandfather, and it's like a lot of Josephs in the line of his grandfather's family. So that's why we, you know, Mr. wanted to honor his grandfather. But I didn't care. I was just like, y'all can name him Joseph too. It's just gonna be 2 Josephs. Okay. And we have a lot of Josephs even in my family, my mom and dad's family, you know. There were some Josephs too. It's a common name. So, but I didn't care. So it kills me when people get mad and say somebody stole their name. Remember, even Candy was mad at Kim for naming one of their kids Cash, because Candy had said that she wanted to name her child Cash, but you know what? Kim had her baby first, so Kim named the kid Cash. And so then Candy came up with something different, came up with Ace. And I was like, no, and that's Ace. That's the baby Ace. I don't even look at him like Cash, okay? That's baby Ace right there, you know? So it just happens. But people can get mad all they want, but damn it, it's a name. You ain't got the license on it. You ain't got the trademark on it. I'm gonna name my child what I want to name him, you know? So, yeah, whoever that was complaining about it, you know, she was just gonna have to get over it. But congratulations to Judy and the brat. They look happy, and I'm happy for them. And then lastly, you guys, while we're talking about babies, congratulations are also in order for Naomi Osaka and her man, Corday. Okay. I don't even know what mama named him. Oh, I think I told you guys. Well, let's see what. Oh, and his name is Corday. Corday Amari Dunstan. Okay. He's a rapper, YFN, Corday. We know that him and Naomi been together for some years now, a couple of years or so, and they had announced that she was pregnant. Well, she has given birth to a bouncing baby girl. I think we found out he was performing somewhere on stage, and he gave us her name. Her name is Shai, S-H-A-I, or Shay, however way you pronounce it. But yes, they have a little girl here now. So we'll see if Naomi Osaka, once she gets done with her mommying responsibilities, the ones immediately at hand. She's always gonna be a mother, obviously, but once she can get back to herself, you know, we'll see if she does make it back out playing professional tennis. She said that she was coming back, so let her get through this stage of her life, and then maybe we'll see her out on the courts again. But congratulations to the happy
feelings, and sadly I'm uncomfortable with healing. I can't hold a frown too long.
All right, you guys, that's it. I'm gonna get on off of here, fixing to run to Wendy's and get me something to eat, get this edited, and try to get it scheduled for you guys for Friday. All right, we do this every single week, so make sure that you thumbs up the video, comment, subscribe, and make sure you come back.
Stay down too long. Look, running from pain, running from strain, running from things, running from schemes.
Until next time, rock stars. Bye.